The name Luna Park today in many countries is synonymous with amusement park. It's basically a generic term, like we might say you give me a Kleenex or ask for a Kleenex, you mean a tissue. A Luna Park is an amusement park. This particular park was developed in 1913 on about a 7-acre parcel, so not a large footprint at all. And it opened to much fanfare, huge crowds when it opened. When it developed, it was built with the idea of providing entertainment for the area, not just here. And there are accounts of boats, excursion boats coming from Ohio to the park here and other parts of Kanawha County and beyond. And I've read accounts in the paper at the time that on a busy summer weekend day, there would be 15,000 people that would be here taking part in the entertainment and the amusement park. There were a lot of things to do here, including a roller coaster, large swimming pool. They had a lot of entertainment. There was a skating rink, concerts were held here, other special events. There were trick figure skaters. I've read where there were two 10-year-old twins from the area who were expert roller skaters, and they would put on shows in tandem. And I think there were some traveling acts probably that came through. Don't have any names, but nationally known artists. Perhaps people who acrobatics. It basically kind of combined a circus, sideshow attractions, as well as general amusements. And there's also nighttime entertainment. One of the things that Luna Parks all over featured was the new concept of electric lighting. And the whole idea behind Luna Park originally came from Coney Island in New York. And the original Luna Park, one of the feature attractions was that it could stay open after dark because of electric lighting and electric power generation, which also powered some of the rides and other things. And that concept took off nationwide, and there were dozens of Luna Parks, including one in Wheeling that was a contemporary, built a few years before the park here. It didn't last very long at all because it got flooded. Luna Park, if we could go back in time 100 years, we would see boats arriving on the river, probably see families traveling on their little rowboats across the river. You would see cars pulling up because some folks after World War I, had the horseless carriage, as it were. Streetcars, which were still operating, and then people walked also, because Charleston then and now is a very walkable city. I have tried to find hard statistics on who the visitors were at Luna Park. I found nothing on it. There are very few photographs of Luna Park. The photographs that I've seen show apparently no people of color in the park. And there are several crowd shots, and I don't see anyone other than looks like white patrons there. So one can assume, given the era that we were in, West Virginia's essentially Jim Crow state at that time, a de facto Jim Crow state, that it was probably whites only. And I'm not sure what the makeup would have been. One photograph I've seen, there was apparently a big dinner being prepared in the park, and there are African-American workers working with the vendor or the cook, but again, that was not unusual. Blacks did a lot of the work, but couldn't partake of the enjoyment of whatever it was. So oral history will say that it was whites only, but historians don't rely entirely on oral history. Now, this park on the west side was only open about 10 years, and in 1923, things were going very well. This was the roaring 20s. The attendance figures apparently were very high. They were making money. And workers who were working on the swimming pool, a stray spark with a cutting torch caught something on fire. The base of the pool was wood, not concrete like we think of today. Long story short, the park suffered heavy damage in the fire, including the roller coaster, some of the rides, some other buildings, the swimming pool, and other things were burned severely. The damage from the fire exceeded $100,000, which today would be probably in the millions, but the insurance coverage was not $100,000. It was far less than that. So later in 1923, the decision was made to essentially level the park and convert the area to building lots for residential homes, and that was done fairly quickly and advertised in the local paper, as being these wonderful new lots on the west side. If we go back 100 years, Luna Park was in operation, but we're very soon going to commemorate the centennial of the burning and ultimate redevelopment of the Luna Park area into the neighborhood that exists today. And I think it's exciting to see Luna Park commemorated because it's very unusual. Not too many people can say that they live in a place that used to be an amusement park. And the era of these community amusement parks is gone, with very few exceptions. So that's a very unique and interesting history.